Good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Today is Friday. It's 7:52. Um
Okay, I'm not. First of all,
so I want to talk about the Clark sisters, their movie, the gossip, the drama, what I'm hearing, what I know, just so much about the Clarks. I want to talk about Kiara Shear as well. So first, firmly, you all know the Clark sister movie came out. I think it's last Sunday it came out. On Sunday at 8 on Lifetime. Um, I had heard about it before it had even came out, and I was like, "Yo, the Clark sisters! Like, I love the Clark sisters. Whatever. They're like one of my favorite, gospel groups, and there's not a lot of gospel groups out. It's not a lot of groups out. Period. That actually stay together for a very long time. So, um, first of all, it was a phenomenal movie. It definitely kept my eyes glued to the TV. It definitely kept me not wanting to move. When they had a commercial break, it was definitely a great movie. It definitely gave you more info of how the Clark sisters started, how they became a group. Just a lot of challenges that they faced to become this group. Just how they all started as a group, as a unit. Just how their life was, before they came the famous Clark sisters. And I just love the movie. I love the movie. I loved everything about it, and I definitely love how Kiara Shear played as her mother, as Karen. It was great. Like it, I have really like nothing bad to say about the movie. It was great. Like I loved it. I do feel like it was kind of long, but other than that, it still was like a really great movie. So many people were talking about it. It's just great. Like the first night it came on, you know, it was great, and it was something that I watched again, just because when you watch something for the first time, you kind of feel like you missed something. So I went and watched it again. I just really love the movie. I just love the movie. Like I said, it gave you more insight about the Clark sisters, how they became, one, just the different things that they faced, just the things, that their mother expected from them, and, just how each and every one of them face different things, and just how even though you all grow up in one household as one family, it does not mean that you guys are all going to be the same. Just because you all grew up in a household together, it does not mean that you're all going to be, your life is all going to be the same just because you all was raised the same way. So that with that being said, when after the movie came out or whatever, and after everybody watched it, and you know how everybody had their opinions. We all know it started with 5 of them in the group, and then towards like after the movie was over, it only ended up with being 4. Now, y'all know, well, some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. Y'all know how I feel when a good movie come out about a celebrity, or just a good movie period, about people's backgrounds, and how things happen and things transition. Like, okay, everybody know every family has their issues, has their drama. Every family goes through ups and downs. Like that's just what it is. When it comes to dealing with life, it comes to dealing with different people and different things. Now, after the movie or whatever, after it aired or whatever, it's been out like a week or two, and people and gossip, and I don't like that, because I feel like it's taken away from the movie. I feel like it's taken away from the Clark sisters, because at the end of the day, before this movie came out, you wouldn't hear any gossip, any drama, any beef about the Clark sisters. And it could be because now they're more older now. But as I was growing up, young, teenage to older to growing up, I have never really heard anything like any drama, any issues with the Clark sisters until now. And after this Clark sister movie, aired on Lifetime. Y'all know that one of the sisters ended up not being in the group. She started, but then she wanted to just, she didn't want to just be in church and in music all the time. She wanted to sing with her sisters at the same time still enjoy her life and party and do what she wanted to do. And we all know in the movie that was Denise, the one that had 7 boys. She had 7 boys or whatever. And at one point, she went through her whole transition of life, went through what she had to go through, her plan was different and stuff like that. So we all know she had 7 boys. But now, as the Lifetime movie has came out, Denise has been speaking forward, about things of how she felt about the movie and about how she felt about her character in the movie. And honestly, personally, I feel like, because she said that she hasn't, it's been 44 years, I guess, since this situation happened. And me personally, I feel like, regardless if you feel like you've been holding this in for 44 years, and you're allegedly saying that what was shown in the movie is not true, it's a lie, I feel like if this Clark Sister movie didn't come out, Denise would not be speaking out. And I'm only saying that because you're saying this, you've been holding this in for 44 years, but I have not heard anything about Denise till now. And as I always say, this is my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for nobody. I'm not telling you how you supposed to feel. I'm not saying that everything I'm saying is true, but I'm speaking for my point of view and my opinion. And this is what I feel. And this is how I feel. And you guys know I am very honest and open about my opinion and what I feel. So, yes, this is what I feel. I feel like she's now coming out because the Clark Sister movie came out. So, and since she feeling like, okay, well, the movie is out. I'm partially in the movie. This is not true. I gotta speak my truth. And now I feel like this whole Clark Sister thing, it's giving her a platform to speak out. Now, if you haven't seen, she did an interview. I think it was April the 16th or 17th. I think it's she did an interview. I think the show is called Larry something. But I'm gonna put it in the bottom of the interview if you want to go check that out. I didn't watch the whole interview because the interview is very long. It's like an hour and some change. So I didn't watch the whole interview because it was just too long. But from what I heard, from what I watched from the beginning till about 30 minutes through, like 30 or 45 minutes through the interview, I just really feel like this whole Clark Sister movie that's coming out, I really feel like she's making it her she's making her own platform with this movie coming out, because she's saying, oh, this is not true about what happened and blah 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 and all this other stuff. And then as she was speaking on the interview, and I know too that it's more than one interview. He said that too. It's multiple interviews. So this is kind of why I'm saying I feel like she's making this her whole platform. She's making this her whole way of trying to get herself out there because she's a Clark sister. That's just my personal opinion. So, she was saying like it's not true. She was even trying to give out like some so-called gossip about the other Clark sisters and about how trying to say that basically one of them was pregnant too, and that they chose to abort their child, but she didn't choose to abort hers. She didn't choose to get any abortions with any of her 7 children. And she also was saying like it's supposed to be like a lawsuit, some type of lawsuit that's supposed to be going on. And then she also said that she's going to be doing a single. She's supposed to be doing a single that's supposed to be coming out, and that she in the Clark Sister groups, when she was in a group, that she's like a high range singer. She's like one of the high range sopranos, and that she's gonna be bringing out a single soon, and it's supposed to be crazy, and she's supposed to be taking pictures and all that for her single. So I just really feel like she's, this whole Clark Sister thing, I feel like she's making it her own platform, and she's turning this whole thing around, and making this whole thing about her. That's just my personal opinion. But like I said, like, she feel what she feel. She feel like what was told in the story was not true. She feel like, I guess she's getting interviewed and stuff by people to be able to get her side of the story. But at the end of the day, I feel like Denise is the one that made the choice to not be with the Clark sisters. I feel like she made that choice. Because when they all got that deal, if you have not seen the Clark Sister movie, you need to see it. So you can understand what I'm trying to say to you. And you can kind of get a better idea of, what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, so if you have not seen the Clark Sisters, there's a scene on the Clark Sisters where they're all sitting at the table about to sign this deal. Is the mother, all the Clark Sisters at the table, and then you have the guy in the middle who's supposed to be doing a deal for them. The dude, the signer, he said, "Are you gonna sign?" They said yes. Now, Denise was the only one. Okay, let me back up 2 steps. Before that, right? Denise, you know what? I'm not going to even say that part. Let me go back. Let me go forward. But let me just say, in the movie, I told you they was all at the table. The mother was at the table. They all was getting a deal. They all was at the table. The guy asked them was they going to sign a contract. Denise was the one that said, she said, I'm not, she said she's not signing it. She didn't want to sign the deal. Denise didn't want to sign the deal for whatever reason. For whatever personal reasons that was going on. She didn't want to sign the deal. Okay, you don't want to sign the deal. Why? I don't know why you don't want to sign the deal. She didn't want to sign it, so the mother asked the guy that was over the contract to step out. She made a whole big deal. She didn't want to do it. She felt like her signing that contract was going to make her still be under her mother, or was going to make it where she was like, she felt like her mother was controlling her. So she felt like if she signed this deal, she'll be controlled by her mother, or she'll be like owing her mother or something like that. That's how she felt, right? So after all of that blew over, and after she agreed not to sign the contract, when at the time they needed to sign the contract, because if you're not familiar, the other sister, I believe it was Twinkie, she did another contract where she signed away all her music that she wrote. Every song that she wrote, she signed off on a contract selling her music that she wrote to another company to get her a car. So with her doing that deal, it messed them up. So that's why the mother had to get them a deal with this company, so they can start, making them some real money. They can start, getting their music up, getting their music out and stuff like that. So when Denise decided to not sign, what was they supposed to do? Like, what was they supposed to do? They couldn't make her sign anything. They couldn't make Denise be like, look, you're going to sign. You're going to sign. That's just that. She didn't want to do it. Like I said, from the start of the Clark sisters, Denise wanted to live life. She wanted to live her life, do other stuff, do whatever she wanted to do. And when a person has, that mind and just want to be free, it's hard to convince them, look, do this with us. Like, you can't make anybody do nothing. So honestly, that's what I said. I feel like Denise made that choice for herself. She made that choice for herself. After that, Denise wasn't even, she wasn't even around like that. After that deal, and when she said she wasn't signing it, she didn't want to be a part of the Clark sisters. She walked away with her kids. At the end of the day. And after that, they didn't even talk to her for years. They didn't talk for years. Denise didn't talk to the Clark sisters for years. The Clark sisters didn't talk to her for years. Because, of course, they had so many issues that they couldn't fix at that moment. They didn't know what to do to fix that moment. They didn't. But at the end of the day, they made a promise to their mother. Look, we're going to stay together as a group. One voice. So I feel like the Clark sisters wanted to keep that promise to their mom. And that's why they came together as one. This is why they decide to keep doing music. This is why they decide to keep doing, what they did. Because they wanted to keep that promise to their mom. And I feel like they was looking at it like, look, we're not going to let Denise, mess up what our mother has built. We're not going to let Denise mess up the promises that we kept our mother. Because she don't want to cooperate with us. She don't want to sign the deal. And honestly, it's so easy to point and pick from a situation from the outside, right? So this is the situation, and you see what you see, but it's so easy to nitpick from the outside in. But when you actually in that situation and you looking from the inside out, it's totally different. It's totally different. So this is how I really feel about all this drama, all this stuff with the Clark sisters and Denise and blah, blah, blah. This is how I feel about it. I feel like they looked at it as overall. It was more than about Denise. It was more than about what she wanted and how, how some people felt that they treated Denise. It was about keeping that promise to their mom. And honestly, when your mom means that much to you, I'm not going to let nobody let me mess up a promise from my mom either. Regardless if I have sisters or brothers or not. Nobody. And that includes family as well. So honestly, I don't blame the Clark sisters. I don't. And when you have voices like that and you have a gift like that from God that you can't get just from anywhere, I would not let nobody stop my gift. I would not let nobody stop the promises that I kept my mom to. So I feel like that's how the Clark sisters went by making the choice that they made. At the end of the day, like I said, you can't make nobody do something that they don't want to do. So how was they going to get Denise to be a part of the Clark sisters? When I feel like they made that very known, I feel like they did. So I feel like Denise is where she is because of herself. Because of the choices that Denise made. Not because of anybody else. That's just how I feel. At the end of the day. And you got to think, if the Clark sisters never chose to sign with that deal, if they chose to not sing anymore because of what's going on with Denise and what happened with Twinkie, and just how, so much things happened before they even became as big as they are now, we wouldn't have the Clark sisters as a group. Their legacy would have stopped right then and there. Their legacy would have stopped after their mother passed, or even maybe before. So this is just my opinion and what I feel about the situation. It's just what I feel about it, And I love the Clark sisters, and I always will. You know, that's not going to change based upon, you know, because of this movie and because of Denise and seeing what she's feeling in her opinion. Blah, blah. I'm going to always love the Clark sisters, period. I don't support people because of their personal choices that they made in life. Because at the end of the day, regardless if the Clark sisters are famous, regardless if they never decide to make another song, another hit, or whatever the case may be, they are still human. They're still human. They just like us. They're regular people just like us. That's it. So that's really how I feel at the end of the day. That's just how I feel. That's it. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, you know, about this whole Clark sisters thing. And that's it. But just let me know how y'all feel about it. You know, y'all comments. Put y'all comments down below. You know, tell me what y'all think. Tell me if y'all seen the movie. If y'all haven't, y'all need to see it. And they still continue to be playing it on Lifetime. Y'all need to see it. It's an amazing movie. You know, just by watching the Clark sisters in their movie, it made me want to just push myself and continue to do more. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your thoughts. You know, I'm definitely getting some growth on this channel, but I want more growth. So, if this is your first time watching my channel, subscribe, hit that like button so you can know when I upload my videos and things like that. So, thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy this Friday, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, even though we're still in quarantine. You know, everybody's still in the house, and they done expanded the lockdown till May the 15th, and I'm just like, wow. But just thank you for tuning in, and I'm out. Peace.